Hi, my name is John Cawthon. This is my first YouTube presentation for OSHA 111, How to Teach Adults, on a topic that's passionate to me. Quite simply put, my passion is geology. I think my passion for geology probably started when I was a freshman in high school, though I certainly didn't know it at the time. During this time of my life, I started doing a lot of backpacking with friends and different groups in the high Sierras of California, which eventually led to mountain climbing, but that's kind of another story in itself. The High Sierras are a very unique mountain range, so to understand my passion, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the Sierra Nevada. They extend from the Owens Valley on the east side to the San Joaquin Valley on the south side, and from central California up through northern California, almost up past Lake Tahoe Yosemite National Park. And on the east side of the Sierra, where I did most of my hiking, the mountain range is very stark. The Owens Valley is 4,000 feet, and the mountains literally jut from the floor of the Owens Valley up to the ridge at 13,500 feet in less than 2 to 3 miles. And from there, they gradually descend on the other side, the west side of the range, down the San Joaquin Valley. Because they jut up out of the desert, and because they get to the elevation they do so quick, there's not a lot of trees. Vegetation's pretty scarce. And you can really see the rocks and exposures and outcrops, and they kind of come right at you, and they're kind of in your face, so to speak. And so I started wondering, hey, why is one outcrop different than the other? Why is one rock type different than another, in the same outcrop? What are all these little folds and what's all this bedding? I don't understand it, but I'd like to understand it. I eventually went on to major in geology, where I got my Bachelor of Science at California State University, Northridge. It was not an easy program. My freshman year I did very well. My sophomore year I struggled. But when it finally totally came together for me was in my junior and senior year. My junior and senior year I took structural geology and a lot of work in stratigraphy, both. Stratigraphy is identifying different layers of rock. Structural geology is basically looking at the rock structure, what it structurally looks like underneath the earth. We did a lot of field mapping in the Inyo Mountains, and from there we took those maps or those measurements and put together geological maps. And from the geological maps, based on the measurements we took, we put together what we call cross-sections. And cross-sections take what you see on the surface and they project it down maybe 5,000 feet, maybe up to 5 miles down. So you can actually see from the surface what the subsurface looks like. And that's critically important. Nowadays it's kind of different because they have advanced seismic studies and they have 3D seismic imagery that they can take a look here. Hey, this is exactly what it looks like. We didn't have that advantage back when I went to school. We actually had to work to do things. Anyway, between structural geology and stratigraphy, I really began to understand the importance of geology. Both in everything from identifying potential earthquake hazards to ore deposits such as gold and rare earths such as Montebellum, and all the way to understanding how oil's formed and where you're going to find oil, and just a broad scope of things. And I've always loved it. I've always loved the earth sciences, and that's when it really came together with me, was my junior year. And even to this day, I still love the earth sciences. I work for the state fire marshal. I do all my inspections in the oil field. Okay, those are geological. And I'm always asking, when I get a chance, the reservoir engineers, and if I get a chance to talk to geologists, hey, what formation are you drilling? What's the structural stuff look like down here? And it's really interesting because it's fun to talk to them, and you can find the difference between the type of oil found from the North Slope to the South Central, and it's all very different. Same thing in the mining industry in the state. I mean, you've got the gold mines, and you've got, incredible mining industry, and it's all geology, and I love it. And that's kind of the end of my talk. And anyway, you all have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.